Well, hello there, long time no see. I have a special video today because I am going to talk about a crypto that actually looks pretty damn good. Now, in my last market update, I talked about how Bitcoin was going to have a big test coming up. And if you look at the last couple days, especially, Bitcoin has had its really big test. Now, I'm going to cover Bitcoin very shortly, but I'm going to get to Santos, which is the crypto of the day that I'm going to be talking about. But I just want to talk about Bitcoin because it's really important that you look at what's happening to Bitcoin before you start making any altcoin purchases, because you really want to see what is happening with Bitcoin because it still dictates the market. Now, this is the day on the 13th of October where Bitcoin really had a mighty test because that's when the inflation numbers came out, ended up being worse than expected. And once again, Bitcoin finds support. It finds really good strength. If you've been following up with my market update videos, I've been talking about how 17.5K has to be the low for Bitcoin to remain strong. In order for Bitcoin to show its strength, it needs to stay within this trading range between 17.5 and 25.5 or 25K for several months, maybe even a whole year. That is really bullish because that means the whales are just accumulating Bitcoin ready for the next leg up. So that means all the FUD you're hearing about China collapsing, America collapsing, war, blah, it's getting picked up, all that fear, which is really good. The longer it continues, the better. So for now, I do think it's going to continue, but let's have a look at Santos, which is the crypto of the day. Now, Santos has done a fantastic job of holding on despite a lot of the bad news. Now, I'm going to go through the chart bit by bit, and I'm going to talk about why Santos looks bullish for the coming days and potentially coming weeks. Now, always do have a strategy, an exit and entry strategy. So talk about your entries and also your exit in terms of your stop losses and take profit targets. I stress the importance of that because I think some people just respectfully believe crypto only goes one way, but hopefully the bear market is teaching people that anything can happen. Hit it and quit it. Take your profits, move on. So with that being said, let's have a look at Santos. So Santos had its breakout on the 18th of August. That was its big breakout, went up 122% in one day. That's cryptocurrency for you. Then you get the next day where it breaks out and you can see it doesn't quite get there. You can see, look how high it went and closed really low on the bar. If you know how to read a bar chart, the left is the open, the right is the close. So I love bar charts because you're able to see the volume, the momentum. That's what you're really trying to capture here. This was a high volume day, so you would see the price went up and come back short, shut down right there. If I saw that and that was the first day, I would say this thing's going down, and it did go down. It went down quite heavily, 20% in the day. Tried to go up on some decent volume, closing mid on the bar, confirming its weakness. This is when retail is in the market. They hear this crypto's gone up, they try and buy it, they get dumped on, they think there's more people that's going to do another 150%, and it just doesn't, and it just keeps going through this churning phase. The good news is that a lot of cryptos that pump, dump heavily, they start going back. So for Santos, it actually went up to $21, came crashing down to about, $12 odd there, but it didn't have to go back down to the single digits, or if it did, not for very long. It didn't have to go to these lows here, which is really good. It started to bounce off its 50% quite nicely. No, maybe not exactly nicely, but you can see there was some support coming there at around that 50%, which comes in at $12.06. So you can see how well this 50% golden line works. Just hovering around there, right? Now, low volume, it can be a little bit concerning what's going to happen, but what's good about Santos is you get another breakout after several days, or several weeks, I should say. You get another breakout, and there it is on the 23rd of September. You get a 50% increase in the day. Once again, can't quite maintain it and starts to dwindle again. But much like previously, it doesn't go down into the single digits. It's still just hovering away. So much like previously, it can start to grind away, and then you'll start to hopefully get another pump. I say hopefully because nothing is ever guaranteed in any sort of financial sector. Nothing is guaranteed. You make the best call you can, you call it, you move on. What I love about this is you're buying pretty close to support. So you can see a lot of support coming in at around that, $11 mark here. So your stop loss, should you decide to enter this trade, just drawing up some scenarios, can be, around 10% loss. Maybe you want to tighten it up a bit more, 9.5%, give or take. I'll leave that up to your personal preference. Maybe it drops it down in price and your risk to reward ratio gets even better. What I love about it is the upside, because this thing can really start swinging quite high. So if we have a look, we can actually start going, anywhere between some of the swing tops there, 9% up, 18% up, 27% up, 35% up. Then we start going to the next resistance area, 55% up. And if we get another top, we could be looking at 75% increase from where it currently is. And it is possible for Santos to do that because it's done that. The question is, can it sustain it? That's what I mean. Take your 70%, be happy, go away, because then this happens to you and just hoping that it has another shoot up. The other thing that has me bullish on Santos, if there isn't enough, is if you actually have a look, we've been making higher highs and higher lows. So there's your high, there's your high. So you can see it actually went higher, which is really good. That means the momentum is still carrying on. If you look at the lows, it's a little bit more hard to tell, but there's your low. and there's your low. Now, I'm not sure if you're able to see it on the screen, but I promise you that that low on the right, that's green, is higher than that low, which is red on the left side. I can promise you that. And then here is your day of the inflation data day, and you can see bounce off the 50%, closed up really, really strong. So you can see there's your significant lows on a high volume and support coming in to support the price of Santos. So those are my reasons why I think Santos is going to be quite strong moving forward. What don't I want to see? Well, I still want to see it bouncing off 50%. It's not to say it's game over. If it breaks its 50%, it's entirely possible, but you really don't want this thing breaking absolutely $9.50. If it starts breaking $9.50, it is time to wait for support to come in, because you do not want this thing to be 95% down in your portfolio. Praying to God, hopefully, that this thing has one more last run for you to make your money back. You do not want to be in that mindset. But that's going to do it for this very short video. I love the look of this crypto. I think it will do fantastic. It's not to say that it's not without risk. There's always risk, especially with such large swings. It can really pull back down. But for now, as of this recording, it is looking very, very good. And I'm really hyped up to see what this thing will do in the coming days and potentially weeks. If you want more altcoin reviews in an honest format, subscribe to the channel, help the channel grow during these bearish periods. Until then, everyone, I will catch you on the next video.